thought, wouldn't you, with the ex-royals known as Harry and Meghan, that they would learn to zip it, you know? They've seemingly had endless bad press, really, for months and months and months on end. It doesn't matter that they refresh their team, hire and fire people, move people around that revolving door, around at Archwell. It just seemingly seems bad at every single possible turn. Even more recently, of course, they decided to accept that Ripple of Hope award against racism within the royal family. And then guess what? Prince Harry goes on TV and said, no, I never said the royal family were racist. Utterly nuts when you think about it, don't you? But now, of course, what they're trying to do is make sure that they get their story, shall we say, flatlined. And they believe that this particular request made towards His Majesty King Charles would be the answer. And as interestingly as it is, I'd love to know what you think as ever in the comments below, because to me, this is truly heading for something of a disaster. This all really stems from the fact that, if you remember, a journalist called Valentine Lowe very expertly exposed all those bullying claims a couple of years back now, which really escalated into a private investigation by our late and wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. And then, rightly so, at her bequest, she decided to seal that particular document. This led to all kinds of speculation because obviously certain people, particularly long-term standing members, senior courtiers who'd worked for the royal family for many years, were in fact quite angry because they didn't get their version of events out there. We told you recently, didn't we, how many of them are quite prepared to go and break their NDAs and simply just say their version of events because, you know, they want to know, or they want the public to know exactly what's gone on. But now as ever, there's a true spin to this because the former royal known as the Duchess of York But now as ever, there's a true spin to this because now the former royal known as the Duchess of Sussex truly believes that the way forward and to make people understand that she's not this particular difficult person, you know, Duchess difficult as she's been branded in the media. Well, if everybody was to see exactly what was in that document, then everything would be, you know, almost like a clean slate. Now, there's truly only one person that can actually do this to eradicate, of course, Meghan's request. And it's quite simple when you think about it. She would have to ask King Charles. Now, according to a very good source, this request has already been muted over there via various channels. One suspects who, possibly. But as we saw recently with Prince Harry, you know, he truly believes that both he and his wife owe very much a public apology from the royal family. But Meghan wants to go one stage further. She believes that if people saw the fact that she, according to her, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, was not deemed the bully that she's painted out to be by these ex-employees, and was simply not really necessarily understanding exactly how royal protocol worked. One of the instances, for instance, is that she couldn't understand that people were not available 24/7, 7 days a week, as they are, as she claimed, in the entertainment industry. Again, bit of a fallacy. Not everybody works 24/7, but that's one of the remits. So according to her, she's putting a bid out to King Charles, and she hopes that if he saw her side of events, perhaps there would be, you know, get this, no need for the public apology, because the public would then make their own mind up about this particular ongoing, and she says, rather damaging platform story, not just to her and Harry as individuals, but as to the brand moving forward. As ever, it now remains once again in the hands of King Charles to decide where he's going to go with this. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.